Welcome to Swansea University and English Language Training Services, and this video, which is about the 4 CELTA assignments which are required as part of the Cambridge English CELTA qualification, and how they are set on the Swansea University CELTA course. This video is part of a series which also includes overviews of the 4 assignments, and then specific videos on how each of them is set and marked on the Swansea University ELTS course. As you can see from this slide, there are in fact 4 assignments on the CELTA course. Assignment 1, focus on the learner. Assignment 2, divided into 2 parts, the language-related tasks assignment, which firstly looks at vocabulary and then in its second part, grammar. Assignment 3, the language skills-related task, and then finally assignment 4, lessons from the classroom, which again is divided into 2 sections and set at different stages of the course. Let's now move on and look at each of the assignments and find out what they are about. We'll begin with assignment 1, focus on the learner. And as the pictures suggest, the purpose of this assignment is to allow you to look in detail at the background and language and skills abilities of a particular learner of English. The first part of the assignment involves the investigation of the learning context and assessment of learner needs with reference to a specific learner. And that basically means finding out about the learner's background, finding out about why they're learning English, and also by collecting data, identifying their strengths and their weaknesses in particular areas of English language development, language skills, and the 4 skills of reading, writing, listening, and speaking. You are asked to identify sources for language and skills development. So once you've identified the areas of weakness that the learner has, you then go and look for sources which will help the learner to address those particular weaknesses. And in suggesting specific language and skills focused activities, you are then required to provide a rationale to explain why a particular activity has been designed by you, or also importantly sourced from coursebooks to address the learner's needs. Assignment 2 of the language-related tasks is, as we can see, divided into 2 parts. Part 1 looks at vocabulary, whilst Part 2 looks at grammar. This is a very practical assignment in nature and is not anything for trainees to be frightened of, because the way it's set up gives you both the skills to identify significant features of meaning, form and pronunciation as they relate in Part 1 to vocabulary and in Part 2 to structures, grammatical structures in English language, but also importantly they help you to develop the skills of explaining to your learners and helping your learners to understand for themselves the meaning, the form, the pronunciation of these vocabulary and grammatical structures. So, whilst yes, in order to be successful in assignment 2, you will have to begin to develop your own understanding of the English language and your ability to analyse it, most importantly, it's about what happens in the classroom. It's how you then relate that knowledge to the learners that you are working with. Moving on, assignment 3, the language skills related task. As you can see from the word cloud here, this assignment is very much about English in real life, about using materials that are designed not for use in the classroom, but were originally designed for use outside of the classroom for general English language purposes. So this includes, for example, newspaper articles, films, songs, recipes, and so on. Learners are very often motivated by using these authentic materials in the classroom because they can see how their classroom learning becomes directly applicable to their real-world use of English. So this assignment is designed to help you to become more independent in designing your own classroom materials so that you're not always relying on coursebook materials that have been published. There are three main parts to the assignment. First of all, the completion of background reading around the topic of authentic materials, but also around an understanding of the skills of reading and listening, the so-called receptive skills, but also of speaking and writing, which are known as the productive skills. Once you've completed this background reading and chosen some authentic materials which are suitable for use with a group of students, you are then required to identify specific reading or listening skills which will develop your students' abilities. For this assignment at Swansea University, you are asked to create 2 receptive skills tasks based on the material which you have selected. So here it is important not only to be able to design tasks, but to understand how those tasks relate to the specific skills development either of reading or listening. The final part of the assignment is the development of a productive skills task, again related to the materials that you have chosen. This can be a speaking task or a writing task, and again it should match the needs of the learners that you have identified as appropriate for the materials you have selected, but also should demonstrate your understanding of how activities in the classroom relate back to particular sub-skills. So, for example, if we're looking at speaking, it might be the development of the skill of giving an opinion, or if we're looking at writing, it might be looking at creation of sentences or correct paragraphing. So, to recap, you begin by selecting materials for a particular group of students. You explain why you've chosen those materials, and then you devise 3 tasks in total, 2 receptive, 2 reading or 2 listening, and 1 productive, a speaking or a writing task, providing a rationale for the development of the task, and also a rationale for its use in the classroom. Let's move on now to look at the final assignment, Assignment 4, Lessons from the Classroom. There are 2 pictures here for you, and these give you a clear idea of the purpose of the Lessons from the Classroom assignment. This is a reflective task which asks you to look at yourself and your development as an English language teacher, identifying your particular strengths and your weaknesses before setting simple goals to help you to improve those weaknesses that you have previously identified. To do this, you are asked to reflect not only on your own teaching, but also that of your peers, the other trainees on the course, on the teaching you observe of your teacher trainers, and also of other qualified teachers that you observe either on video or live during the course. The assignment itself is divided into 2 parts. The first part, which is set for the first half of the course, asks you to identify 2 strengths and 3 development areas, 3 weaknesses, and are based around some of the basics of English language teaching, like lesson planning, classroom management, and the presentation and practice of vocabulary or grammar. In the second part of the course, towards its end, you are then asked to complete the second part of the assignment. Here, you look at your development and your overall strengths as an English language teacher, and a further 3 development points and how you can improve them. You are also asked to think about how you will continue to develop as an English language teacher once the course has ended. The idea being that you set in motion a process which will carry on through from the end of the course into your first job and potentially further on. So, As you can see, each of the 4 assignments relates to a particular part of the course and your overall development as an English language teacher. And as such, the assignments are an important part of the course, each one designed to have a practical focus and application. As such, it's important that you familiarise yourself with the assignment requirements as shown here on this slide. Each one should be submitted, marked and returned on time, but please let us know if there is a problem, as extensions where there is a good reason can often be arranged if we are given enough advance notification. The assignments are marked by your tutors, some are double marked for quality assurance, and then all of the assignments are sampled towards the end of the course by the assessor who comes in to visit, often in the last week or the penultimate week of the course. The assignments themselves are either marked as pass, pass on resubmission, or pass, or rather fail on resubmission. And please don't worry if you are asked to resubmit one of your assignments. This is quite a common requirement of the course. Very often students don't quite understand what's required of them or miss out part of the assignment and are asked to do it again. Overall, you are allowed to fail 1 assignment on the course. Obviously, it's better for you and for us if you pass all of them. However, if you fail the 2 assignments, unfortunately, that means you fail the course overall. So, as part of our job at Swansea University, we do everything possible to help you to be successful. And this is how we do it, how we support you. We provide you for each assignment with a detailed lesson pack. At the beginning of the pack will be made clear the aims of the assignment, the assessment criteria, and also the word limit. As you can see, these are relatively short, 750 to 1,000 words. And also a detailed task rubric, the instructions for the assignment, which we recommend that you read carefully, highlighting the key points as you go along. We also provide you with a submission checklist, and it's important that you can tick off honestly each part in order to submit what you are required to do for each assignment. If there is a particular part that you can't tick, then the likelihood is the assignment will be returned to you for resubmission. We also provide detailed guidelines for each assignment. They take you through each part of the assignment step by step, and again we recommend that you read these carefully, highlighting the key ideas. And remember that our detailed videos for each assignment will look at these and explain to you exactly what you need to do. You also provided, where appropriate, with a bibliography and also indication of how to source and reference the sources that you have used, either academic or teaching books that have enabled you to complete the assignment. Finally, and perhaps most usefully, is the list of assignment tips. This is a really important page as it lists the most frequent mistakes made by trainees for each of the individual assignments. So if you read these carefully and make sure that you've not fallen into any of the traps, you stand a much better chance of success on the submission first time round. And then finally, there is an assignment answer booklet, a step-by-step box table which you complete and which is designed to make sure that you have answered each section correctly. So, those is an overview of the 4 assignments on the course. If you would like more information, then we would encourage you to watch our other videos, some of which give you an overview of the assignment generally, and others which provide detailed information about the requirements of the assignment as set for Swansea University trainees. If this video has encouraged you to want to take the CELTA with us at English Language Training Services at Swansea University, or you would like to find more information, then please contact us either by email, elts@swansea.ac.uk, in writing or by telephone, and the details on this page also give information of our teacher training coordinator, Mr. Peter Neville. Thank you.